Hey, everybody, it is great to have you along. I'm meteorologist Andy Parker. Another night where we're tracking lake effect snow coming back to Buffalo and the North Towns, sliding into the Southtowns overnight and into tomorrow morning. Finally, coming to an end on Tuesday. I know it's not what you want to hear, but it's what we have on our plate tonight. Let's bring up Doppler and also meteorologist David Vogan, who has been following this storm from the beginning, bringing in some awesome images, which we're going to show you tonight, stuff you have not seen yet. So stick around. We're going to bring that to you in a moment. But right now, we want to get in and talk about Doppler. We've got that activity in the North Towns right now, beginning to develop over portions of southern Ontario, and it's now beginning to bleed into areas north of the city. It's bringing some snow showers into Kenmore. This is not whiteout potential, but it is enough to bring some snow back to western New York to areas that do not need it. It'll be with us overnight and into tomorrow. Right now, if you have a chance, go ahead and like and share this. Get us out of the gate going quick. Go ahead and hit that button. You can be the first ones in. Ask your questions. We'll answer them. And then we're going to talk about a big warm-up in there as well. David, let's bring it up and show folks where this band is going over the next few hours. We have Cheektowaga in the house and a bunch of other folks just piling in. Elma's there as well. Thank you very much. Let's show you the band over Buffalo and the timing that we have there, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at it. You just saw Doppler and that snow beginning to fire on up. Not as intense as what we've seen the past couple of days. That's good news, but this is going to be enough to drop another 3-4 inches on backyards. I know there's some comments already out there saying, hey, we do not need the snow anymore. Donna, thank you for chiming on in. But here's where it is. Start to blow up over the North Towns and Buffalo. Once we go into the overnight hours, into the Southtowns, going to spend some time over Orchard Park, Hamburg. By the time we get into breakfast on Tuesday morning, this is where the band is, just about into ski country, Dunkirk, all the way into southern Erie County. It is weakening as we go throughout the morning and afternoon. By the afternoon on Tuesday, by the way, this is going to be back into the Southtowns, eventually going into Buffalo during the early evening hours, and this basically diminishes once we go past 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday. Then we can all just slow down and finally take a deep gasp of air and just say, thankfully, this is just all and done.
Yeah.
That is going to be when this band is out of here, gone, no more flakes. Finally, Andy.
It does finally come to an end, but let's talk about snow totals. That's the next question. Everybody's so gun shy about getting more snow. This is not a huge hit, but it is going to be enough to leave some behind. Let's bring this full and answer the questions about how much is coming. And so as we watch it here, you can see not a huge hit, about 3 to 6 inches of snow anywhere from the city. Let's zoom in a little bit more. This is why we do this, so you can see your community and find out how you're affected. The North Towns, north of Buffalo, Kenmore, Williamsville, really not much out of this, a couple of inches there. So not a huge hit, maybe 2 to 4 up in Williamsville, and then the 3 to 6 once you get into Buffalo, Cheektowaga, Sloan, Depew, Lancaster, West Seneca, and then on into Orchard Park. The numbers here probably include maybe some 6-inch marks down along the lakeshore, especially once you get down towards Angola, the number goes up there. Inland, it drops off in the Boston Hills and back towards East Aurora. This is what we're finding as well. Not huge numbers, but again, enough to cover the ground and add to what is already a very decent snowpack out there. Speaking of the snowpack, Dave, take a look at some of these numbers, the statistics that you were able to pull in on this today. This is the one that stands out.
Yeah, this is the fastest, and I mean the fastest start to winter on record since the late 1800s here in Buffalo, and we've already had 99 inches of snow. That is almost 8 feet as you look at it. I mean, that is a lot of snow. Sorry, I was going through some of the comments right now. You just popped up one from Paul.
Yeah, that's fine. Here we go. How much snow is 99 inches? It's more than an average season. Usually by March and April, we're struggling to get to that 100 mark, and it's enough to put us way out in front in first place. 99 inches of snow. The comparable cities in the Northeast and Great Lakes here with us in New York State, only maybe the 20s. Rochester sticks out as a sore thumb there. only at around 9. Again, tonight we are watching the onset of some lake effect snow. Those are the areas that are going to be affected. If you're just hopping into the room, go ahead and put your questions in. I know everybody has them. How much, when, and where? This is where it is right now. We'll kind of take you from top to bottom, soup to nuts on this as it begins to get going. And right now it's areas north of the city, starting to see a little bit of this. Let's bring it in a little closer. And if you just joined us, please go ahead and hit the like and the share button. It would be great for you to do that. It helps us to help more people. And we just saw a bunch of people come in. Thank you so much. It says we've got enough already. That is the sentiment, 100%. Thank you for the update. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Again, the more you could do a like and a share on this, the better off we all are as we get going. And we're going to see where this is going. Dave, can we bring that back up again? Take people again from the onset. We came on just as the Lake Snow Band is getting going. It's hitting areas of northern Grand Island, the North Grand Island Bridge, coming back this direction. Here's the timing on it. It'll be into the city of Buffalo 9 o'clock tonight. It's not going to spend all night there. It's going to spend a few hours, drop a few inches of snow. That's what we're expecting to see. By tomorrow morning, it's the Southtowns problem. You can see as it drifts from Hamburg, Orchard Park, Lake Erie Beach, Holland, even down to Springville for a short time if it makes it there. Then it turns around by the time we get to the mid-morning, begins coming back up past the stadium, eventually into the city for around 2 in the afternoon hours tomorrow. Only a quick hitter. It's not going to sit and stick. It is just going to go and then finally disappear. Guy says this is unreal. They've never dealt like anything in the North Towns. Well, you guys in the North Towns are now honorary Southtown people, because that's what happens in Orchard Park a lot. And when we talk about how much snow is coming, here's the 411 on that as we go to the North Towns and really not spend a lot of time up there on this, because the hits is going to be pretty small. You can see the numbers when we bring it on the screen are not that much. You're only looking at maybe an inch or two. That's right now in the Tonawondas. And then this will continue to move a little further towards the city. The city is going to be in a spot where you're going to get some fluffy snow. None of this is very heavy, but it is going to be enough to kind of make you go out and dust off the car, shovel the driveway once again. Once you get into the Southtowns from Lancaster, West Seneca, on down along the lakeshore, you're into that 3 to 6 category, and it looks like the lake shores near Hamburg, Eden could be the ones that see the most, and then that drops off a little bit, but suffice to say, that's where it goes. I know we're going to get a question about Dunkirk, so let's bring this in and show the length of the lake. It could clip Dunkirk, but more likely up around Silver Creek. That's what we're working with right here. We had a question. How much in Hamburg tonight? We've got how much in Hamburg and Orchard Park tonight. A lot of the Southtowns folks wants to know what's going on. So let's go ahead and show them again. This is what we just talked about, where that's going to be in those Southtowns. Here it is as we zero on in. There are the totals as we put them on the map, and they are, again, not anything earth crushing. We've had 30 inches of snow, so another 3 to 6 shouldn't be too bad. She wants to know about West Seneca. We'll bring West Seneca back to the map here as well and bring that one in and give her an idea of what to expect there. West Seneca is going to be on this edge right in here in that 3 to 6 inch mark. So that's what we've got there. And we appreciate everybody popping in. Lake Erie, David, is still at 32 degrees. Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
We thank everybody for popping in. And if you could like and share this thing, get us out of the gate going, get folks in here so they can answer. We can answer all the questions for them. It is the holiday season. Merry Christmas. Pay it forward. And share the weather love tonight as we get rolling. Take a look at downtown Buffalo. This is the Skywatch as we peek at it here. We've got lake ice, and someone was talking about the lake. We can actually take a peek at this and show you the slush ice that's now begun to form right on the other side of the 190. You can see it there inside the break wall. All of that is the slush ice that's now formed and starting to take hold. When this storm started, there was none of that on Lake Erie, and now you can see that it extends over along the Niagara River. People were wondering about what's going on with the downtown Buffalo cleanup and why there's still some driving bans. You can see the streets are getting better, but there are still a lot of these parked cars that they're having to dig out, and people are trying to get to them. But these cars are completely buried. It looks like some of the side streets in the city have been handled, but overall, that's still a problem. Now, Dave, I know you've got some images to come with this as well. You want to bring a couple of those up? When we talked about the ice and the ice cars and all that stuff, we can take a peek at those. Pretty amazing images. Yeah. I'm going to let you speak to these.
Yeah, this is from George on Twitter. By the way, his website is Earth or FuriousEarth.com, and you can see that this is in Crystal Beach. Look at the houses. I mean, it's just frozen. You're not getting in or out of the back doors. No beach day in Crystal Beach for quite some time. So I wanted to say thank you to George, who was
Yeah.
sharing that with us. And by the way, I just dug it up. According to NOAA, Lake Erie is now about 20% ice covered. And it's not
1%.
thick, 20%.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, zoom in on those houses right in the center. These things are completely caked in ice. Again, this is over at Crystal Beach. And that's not just a thin layer. That is thick. That's probably a foot thick on that thing, and an amazing amount of ice there. Hey, I'm going to go back to a quick snow total, and then I'll have you bring up that other ice image that we're talking about. We had a question. She said, how much is going to be in the Middleport area? Well, good news for Middleport, because it is not coming up there. This is not a situation where you're going to get more than an inch out of this at all. So it's not a super Northtown thing. This is more of a Grand Island and along the thruway, and that's what we're looking at there. So you're out of the mix up there. Will there be flooding late in the work week? That's another question we're going to answer, and you can see there are some temperatures coming in our way, Colleen. You've heard about it. The 50s are coming with some rain. It all depends on the amount of rain that we get. Will there be flooding out of all of this? When is the snow starting? That's beginning right now out there, and we'll be able to show that to you, how this thing is beginning to take shape, where it's going. Right now, those snow showers are just firing up, beginning to develop over portions of southern Ontario, but they are beginning to move over Grand Island, and they will be entering the city here very shortly. Our image in the city expected to change. Dave, take us through the timing of this real quick, and then we'll come back to another one of those ice pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is just going to spend a couple of hours in the city of Buffalo tonight, moving into the Southtowns overnight, dropping just a couple of inches, 3, 4, 5 inches of snow. And notice this is not going to stay over one particular area for some time. It's not locked in. This is going from the Southtowns into ski country to start off Tuesday morning. And then watch what happens midday Tuesday, back into the Southtowns, into Buffalo afternoon on Tuesday, and by the time we get into 5 o'clock, this is basically just a goner. It's done. Flakes are pretty much out of the picture for some time here in Buffalo.
Yeah, we just got a report. It says how much for Attica, and then where was it? It's snowing in South Lockport right now. That would make sense as we go back to Doppler. You can start to see that come in, and we're going to find that the view in the city will probably change pretty drastically. In the next little bit, as we find the snow beginning to intensify. It's not too heavy right now. And Cheryl, hello to you. We appreciate everybody that's in the room. If everybody could just give this thing a share and a like, and get us rolling again. The more you do that, the more we can offer up information to folks that are out there. So another one, it says, yuck. More snow. That's the sentiment, right? Everyone wants to know how much more snow. We saw a bunch of questions about snow totals, so let's go ahead and talk about that, right? We'll put those on, and whatever you want to do is what we'll do. Your comments drive the bus on where we go with this. We've got some incredible images coming up. I'm going to do a couple snow totals because you guys asked so nicely, and then we're going to come back to one of these ice images that Dave has. So these are the numbers, but let's go in a little bit tighter. Let's start in the Northtowns. Everybody with snow total questions, here are your answers to it. Again, Lockport, maybe an inch out of this at best as it gets going, and then a little closer to the 2 and 3 inch mark by Buffalo. So let's go into Buffalo proper, bring up the communities affected. Kenmore has had a heavy hit in this. They were up about 30 inches of snow there. You're only going to get 1 or 2 out of it. Williamsville area, about the same as well. You start to go a little bit closer to South Buffalo, Cheektowaga, the core, you're going to be in that 3 to maybe 5 inch range. And then when you get into the Southtowns, where it's going to spend a little bit more time through the morning and late morning and early afternoon on its way back up, I think this is where you'll be in that 4 to 6 inch range. And the deeper Southtowns, if we go down to the southern tier, just to give everybody a look, because this will make it about down to Dunkirk. And you're going to see that it'll probably go right to Silver Creek and Lake Erie Beach down in southern Erie County. Springville is out of the mix. So is all of the southern tier, but it's going to be these communities right in here that get that fresh stuff. We've got one that says a Christmas to remember. You better believe it. Any idea for the first week of 2023? Katie, the first up until the 10th. you're good until the 10th, and then it goes back the other way. No problem there. No more, please. Will Dunkirk get hit again? We just talked about Dunkirk, just getting a little bit there. All right, David, you got this other one? I love this picture. It is stunning. Feel free to zoom in on this one as well. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, how thick do you think this ice is? Got to be at least half a foot.
It's a foot.
Yeah, that's.
This
there
is
are no
Crystal
words
Beach again.
I mean, there are no words to describe this. The amount of water that had to have blown onto the land at Crystal Beach, and for this to happen over and over time, it's incredible.
So what happens is that's on Crystal Beach. Those homes are pretty close to the water as those giant waves in the Lake Sache combined to create this sea spray that repeatedly hit the home, and it kind of froze just like that. That is a wild looking picture. And the statistics on this storm now, we are up to 99 inches since the first flake fell. And that puts us now as the snowy. Not only does it put us as we've had a year's worth of snow, more than that, it's now this statistic. Dave, explain what this number means.
Yeah, this is the fastest start to winter ever since records began here in Buffalo in the late 1800s. And what this is basically saying is, hey, this is the snowfall that we've had from October through December for a winter season. And we're up there. I mean, we've had some epic winters here in Buffalo. 2000, a lot of that snow, by the way, in 2000 for that year fell in Buffalo. I think that's the year that had over 80 inches just in the month of December alone. And then 76, 77 winter. Everybody remembers that. That was the blizzard of 77 winter. 2001 was another epic year. But right now, I mean, this is the most epic amount of snow we've seen up to this point.
All right, we've got a quick.
I mean, we're about to cross 100.
Yeah, we got a quick question to answer here. This one's going to be for Kathleen. She said her son is driving tomorrow down to Pittsburgh. Should he wait a day? I would say no. This is not the only snow falling tomorrow is going to be within this band right here. If the 90 is open, they will have it plowed. It's a very manageable amount. I would say there's no reason to wait on that one. I think we're going to be okay. Blizzard of 77 was on his 15th birthday. Wow, Brenda. That you can remember this one then compare the two. You're old enough to think about that. Hope the snow and the looting stops. Yeah, both of those could be end at the same time. How much in Williamsville? We're happy to answer that question. You're going to be about 1 to 3 inches of snow. That occurs in there tonight, and South Buffalo gets it, and it's coming and going. It keeps coming and going, that's for sure. As we start looking at the timing of all of this and how it all goes together, the other end of this is that we've had such a hard hit, and then now we're going to find things warming up rather quickly. Temperatures go to the 40s, then the 50s by the end of the week, and those are rain showers, not snow showers. So we're going to switch over to the rain end of things, and that could spell the opportunity for creeks and streams to jump up as well. Isn't the thruway still closed? I believe it is, but boy, they've got to be getting close to allowing that happen. It'll be interesting. West Seneca was a question, and if we can bring back the car wash, I think after this would be a fun one, David, as well. Let's go ahead and talk about Kimberly and what she's going to get in West Seneca. We're going to bring in a map that does her a little more justice here in West Seneca. So let's go there. There's Blaisdell, Hamburg, the Triangle. We're going to jump a little north of this, and we could answer anyone from Lancaster. We haven't had a Lancasterite in the house yet, and you're going to be in the same boat there in about that 3 to 5 inch range, maybe 6 inches in spots. This is super fluffy snow. Yes, the airport there is closed until 11 a.m. Wednesday. So that is it. Cheektowaga, Sloan, Alden, tomorrow morning, will it be safe? Yeah, tomorrow morning, Dave, let's go put this on. I'm going to bring this up for you. Can we take everybody to tomorrow morning to kind of give them an idea of where this is going to be as we start the day on Tuesday?
Yeah, this is going to be in ski country. So for the Boston Hill, Springville, Dunkirk, those are going to be the areas that are seeing some flakes. That's going to be the morning by mid-afternoon or mid-morning to late morning, back up into the Southtowns, and then early afternoon back into Buffalo by the dinner hour Tuesday. It's done.
You got it. Boy, 33 is, they're saying that. We just talked about the Boston Hills. We showed the timing of it. We can go ahead and put the number on the screen for you folks down there as well. Pretty easy to do down here in North Boston. I think you're going to be in for that 3 to 6 inches of snow. There it is. Marcia says, that's me in Lancaster. No more. Lancaster, we just showed you. We'll do it again. You're right up in here, probably in that 3 to 6 inch range as well. Ryan in Attica, is New Year's going to be wet or snowy? And Dave, I think the consensus here is we've got rain, not snow.
Yeah, it's going to be mild. A welcome relief here in
Warm.
Buffalo. That's the
Are
good
you
news.
mild? 51. That is a warm New Year's Eve. 100%.
I guess some people are going to be wearing shorts and t-shirts outside. Sure, this is Buffalo, but yeah, 51 degrees. A couple of showers in the area as of right now, but that is what we're looking at for New Year's Eve.
You got it. How much more for Hamburg? Anytime you guys ask a question, we're happy to do it for you. All you have to do is put the comments. We see them on the screen, and we can answer whatever you have a question about when it comes to the weather. There, Hamburg will be in that 4 to 6 inch range as well. If you just came in the room, please hit the like and the share button. The share is the one that allows other Western New Yorkers to hop in on the stream, and we can answer the questions for them there as well. All right, we're going north of the city. Ann wants to know about Kenmore. Let's take her up there. You're going to get some snow probably happening right now. As a matter of fact, the view out the window of Skywatch in Buffalo is now showing those snow showers beginning to collect over by Grand Island. We can kind of pick that up there right now. And so you're not going to find a lot of it there. Cheryl wants to know, are we done with the storms? Kenmore, Tonawanda, we just did that. Where was it here? It was, are we done with the storms yet? Yeah, you know what? After this ends tomorrow, and the lake effect is over, we're quiet for a while. Hey, take a look at this one. I love this, David. Talk about where we found this. This is not at a local Delta Sonic, is it?
No, this is from Matthew on Instagram, and you have to go all the way down to Austin, Texas. This is what the icicle car wash looks like. I mean, look at that, how big those icicles are. I mean, you compare that to what we're seeing out there in Crystal Beach, and for the houses along in Hamburg on Route 5 and Hoax. I mean, this is different a little bit. It's a car wash that just froze overnight because the deep freeze extends all the way into Texas, Andy.
That's right. The deep freeze hit Texas. They had a pipe burst, and that's how that thing developed there. Wow. All right, what are we looking over Hamburg for the next few days? We're back down to Hamburg, and we're looking at a few inches of snow, not only overnight tonight, but most of the morning hours tomorrow. Another 3 to 6 inches of snow there. We're going up to Amherst for Joel. Let's swing it around, bring it back up here. The 990, I think you get out of this with the least amount of anything. And the Amherst snow is actually coming in right now. I believe if we go and take a look at the live view, the latest sweep is in. Here's the most recent data as we put it on the screen for you. You can start to see this begin to come in, Joel, right over top of your neighborhood. So this is the snow that we're expecting you guys to accumulate. And then as we go a little bit later into the evening, that will swing into the city and eventually the Southtowns. But you can see how this is starting to, it was down to nothing, and now it's beginning to fire up again. We're starting to see that band right out over the lake develop, and it's going to target the city with this really fluffy snow. Is Niagara Falls done? Almost. You can see up there in the falls that we still have some action. Up in Niagara Falls, you've got some light snow falling, same thing as Grand Island, but not a direct hit, only about an inch there as well. Everybody's going to be soaking their basements. Well, let's say this, that unless we get an inch of rain or 2 inches of rain out of this, I think we're going to be okay with all of this. Is it a soaking rain? Deanna, remains to be seen. I think we get rain showers, but it doesn't look like anything that would be super problematic for us at this point. Coming up from Buffalo, Virginia, what are we looking like tonight? We're looking at some snow once you get into the Southtowns tonight. So I don't know which way you're coming in, but you're going to end up with some snow in that neighborhood there. Snow totals since Friday for Lackawanna. That's the one thing I didn't load up, was that whole thing, but Lackawanna was in there at about 35 to 40 inches of snow along the lakeshore. A huge number. Say no more for Angola. Well, Angola is going to get about 4 to 6 more inches there. What are the streets? Are the streets clear near ECMC. Tough to say. I can tell you that some of the streets in the city are far from clear. As we watch the sky cam tonight and bring you kind of street level, this is what people are dealing with in the city yet. You probably have maybe one pass on a lot of the streets. This will be a wider view, not far from Niagara Street, Elmwood Village as well. You can see that that's Huron as it cuts over. But one of the side streets does have at least a front loader must have come through and cleared it out. But you've got all those parked and buried cars that have not been touched yet in portions of downtown Buffalo. We've got a question about East Aurora. That's where we're going next. This is continuing to move into the North Towns, just beginning. But by the time we are done with this, if you're talking about snow totals in East Aurora, these are the numbers that you're working with. Kind of on the outside looking in here, probably in that maybe a 3-inch accumulation out there. But the lake shores will be a little bit more in this one. Will this be through tomorrow for Dunkirk? Yes. As a matter of fact, we can talk that Dunkirk should be done by the time we get to the afternoon hours there. Cheektowaga by the airport. It's what part of it's still coming? Yes, it is coming out to the airport, but you're not going to have a huge hit. You can see that Depew is in that window for maybe another 2 to 5 inches of snow, but it's super fluffy tonight. The consistency is different. Hey, Cheryl, we appreciate you doing that. Anybody else, if you're in the room, go ahead and hit like and share and fire this thing up and share the love here on the day after Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody who's in here now. The lake is near freezing. As a matter of fact, we just were talking about that. The lake has started to freeze on the fringes. And as we watch LaSalle Park, this is the image that begins to show us that freezing. It's getting crusty on the edge there, Mike. And it's a good question because what we're finding is even in the dark here, we can pick it up. Let's go a little closer. And what we're going to notice as we get near the break wall, now we've got the snow falling in the city for the first time here since it ended this morning. But all of that white that you see in the foreground out to the break wall, that's all fresh ice on the edge of Lake Erie. Any snow totals for Lancaster? We got them right here for you. We'll bring them in. Lancaster is in there as well, or Lackawanna. I'm so sorry. And we've got you posted. You're in that 3 to 5 inch mark through the overnight tonight, and then another inch or two as we go there. I haven't looked at Cincinnati. I'll be honest. I'm a little flat-footed on the Cincinnati Monday game, but it doesn't look cold. But that's fine. We'll take a look at that and see what it is. A lot of questions about the thruway. We're watching Doppler. I'm not sure what the status of the thruway or what they need, what their metrics are to open that up. Snow total for this storm, West Seneca, you are between 35 and 40 inches of snow. And we appreciate you, Deanna. Thank you very much for the kind words. That is super nice to say. In Williamsville, the side streets passable. They had the plows out yesterday. That's good to hear. Cheektowaga, you're on the map there as well. And again, you're right in this area. You're in the quick 2 to 4 inches, but not a huge thing. John, thank you very much. We appreciate everybody who came by. Hi, everybody. Hi, Joan is in there as well. Cheryl wants to know about Orchard Park as I almost dropped the mouse off the board. Orchard Park right in here, probably in that 3 to 6 inch range. Haven't done timing in a while. David, take us through it.
Yeah, okay, so the band right now is firing up over the North Towns in the city of Buffalo. Not going to stay here long. Going into the overnights into the Southtowns, Orchard Park, Hamburg, getting another 3-4 inches of snow. By the time Tuesday morning, when you're walking outside, this is in Dunkirk, into ski country, back into the Southtowns by midday, and then for the afternoon into the city of Buffalo. By 5 o'clock, this is well north of Buffalo over Grand Island, but past 6 o'clock, this thing is done.
Yeah. All right. This just in, breaking news. It's starting to snow in the city again. The snowflakes are now on Doppler again. So we're watching that there. We talked about Orchard Park. Tammy, thank you very much. Oh, that is so kind of you to say. Seriously, and I hope you guys had a blessed holiday out there at your place. And this is the snow map. Actually, we're going to throw a statistic at you here. I don't know if you've heard, but 99 inches of snow is the new number. Dave just sourced that. It's legit. That's how much. So the Golden Snowball, the trophy is it in Buffalo right now, David?
I thought it was. I
think it is. I think it's ours. And it's not going anywhere.
No, we can save gas on that,
There
on
it
the
is. They
trip.
don't have to take it. Hey, Rod
Yeah.
wants to know, will it be 50s later in the week? Rod, yes, you heard
Yes.
right. And I'll tell you what, the compaction of the snow on Wednesday and Thursday is going to be dramatic. Because this was more fluffy, a lot of this stuff that was fell, at least in the Southtowns. The wind-blown hard pack is not moving. But once you get rain on this, it's going to even get heavier and tougher to move this around. Was the weather pattern for winter 23 as bad as compared to the last several weeks? Marcia, I can speak to that because what we're going to find is that we get a reprieve until through the first week of January. And then we're going to find, I'm going to pop us up, Dave, and we're going to get a reprieve through the first week of January. And then after that, the signal is that we take a downturn yet again and start going the other way. So that's kind of the timing on the warmth that we have, how long it's going to be here. It's not a ton of time, but it is long enough that we'll be able to catch a breath. And I think the warm up this weekend should be able to do a job on the snowpack that we have. Didn't feel like Christmas yesterday. And no, it kind of was a weird feel to the whole thing. Kel, we appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. That is awesome. Are we okay to head back to Buffalo from PA tomorrow? Weather-wise, you're going to be okay because this the snow that's out there is not going to be blinding lake effect. You can see this is the Doppler as it gets going right now over my shoulder. Let me bring that into the stream. This is what we have. It's not a ton of snow. The question are the roads. What roads are you going to take to have that come in there? Gene wants to know, is the lake going to freeze over? At this rate, David, I would think we're going to start to see maybe 10, 15, 20% by the time we move into the first week of January.
We're already at 20%.
20 now? Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2%.
No, I said 20.
Well, then, yeah, we've got a good
20.
shot. We've got a good shot by the 15th. I mistook that. Sorry, I misheard. The Tonawondas, you're getting some snow right now in the Tonawondas. You're going to find that you're going to get about another inch or two. This is really going to start squaring away on the city of Buffalo, focusing a little bit more as we watch this and kind of back out. And you'll notice as this begins to collect and get going, don't watch the stuff over Welland. Watch the area that's developing over the open waters. That's going to be the one that tells the tale there. What do we have here? Thanks for all this anticipation, the map anticipating. Thank you very much, Marilyn. I'm glad these numbers work. Dave and I put a lot of time into getting all this stuff done, and it's great that it has an impact there. 99 inches, insane. That should be a T-shirt, right? My daughter has to go back to North Carolina. What day is a good day to leave? Whatever day the road is open. I think there is nothing in your way between now and Carolina that gets you there. Is there official name for this one yet? I don't think it's picked up a fun name. You know what? I think because of the reports of the death today, the deaths, plural, I think it's been, people really haven't named it. I think it's going to end up with kind of a less playful name given the fatal outcome that this had in a number of things. It was fun to kind of kick those names around, but when it comes to it, I think it's going to be maybe the Christmas blizzard of 22 or something very factual like that. All right, how much is Depew going to get? We're talking about going back to the totals. First, the timing, then the totals, David. Let's take everybody through the forecast for this particular band, and then I'll run the numbers right after this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what you're seeing right now is that band begin to ramp on up for the Southtowns and Buffalo. What's going to happen? It's not going to stay in the metro area that long. Watch what happens when we go into the overnight hours. Hamburg, Orchard Park, Lackawanna, that's where this band's going to sit during the overnight hours, eventually moving into Dunkirk and Springville ski country for the first half of Tuesday, back into the Southtowns midday, into Buffalo for the afternoon, and then up to the Southtowns. But by the time it's crossing Buffalo and northward, I mean, this thing's going to be very weak, just a couple of flakes out there. So we're not talking about feet of snow, Andy. We're talking about just a couple of inches out of this band.
Just inches. And Jules said, hey, how much more for Clarence tonight? Well, Clarence, not a huge hit. We'll take a closer look at Clarence as we dive on into Buffalo here and give you a peek at it. So Clarence, a little north of the Thruway, as we put the kind of the meter on here. If you're in Kenmore, the Tonawondas, you get an inch out of this. Not a big deal. Williamsville, you're probably on that the low end of the 2 to 4. Once you get to Cheektowaga there, Clarence a little bit further out. You maybe get enough to cover the ground out of this, have to dust off the car, and that's all you got there. So I just missed it here. It says, my mom is at Sister's Hospital. They're saying they're almost out of food. When do you think the trucks will be able to make deliveries? Jessica, that's not a great situation. There's nothing weather-wise that's going to prevent travel with this particular lake effect ban tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be enough that they can continue to plow it, but I think it's just the side streets that are the biggest issue for you there. Heading to Welland from PA, taking 79 to the I-90. Good luck with that. I'm not sure what's opened and closed. You know, Dave and I have been watching Doppler, so we're not really up on the opening and closings of those or what is going to do that. But that's you're up against that. Tim says, how much for Cheektowaga? They're right on there, Tim. You're going to be in that 3 to 6 inch range, but not a huge hit for you there. Joel says, hopefully the rest of winter is quiet. Yeah, Dave.
Hey, I don't know if you wanted to do this, but we were just talking about Lake Erie ice, and I wanted to pop up a map of where the ice is right now. You can see it's right here. A lot of this is towards the western end, Toledo, Cleveland. That's where you're seeing that ice. Still not thick enough to walk out on the water, but you're also seeing that crusty ice up here from Sturgeon Point, the Hamburg, up towards the Buffalo area as well, and even up to portions of Long Bay. So that is where your ice is currently, but still, as you can see, it is a wide open lake. So if you get another cold shot of air, you're likely to see some more lake effect snow. So this is not completely closed, but about 20% iced over right now. And just like the ice cubes out there.
That's right. Hey, we got a question about Wheatfield. Wheatfield, you're getting some light snow out there now. This is nothing to beat the ban, but again, you're probably seeing some flakes fly in your neighborhood. We had somebody in Lockport. If you want to tell us, anybody on Grand Island in Lockport, is it still lightly snowing up there? Give me a number that you guys had during the day today. We did see some snow come through the North Towns, but it weakened greatly. Here's a question. How much more for Akron? Akron, you're on the map right there as well. You're probably going to end up with maybe an inch or two out of this a little further from the lake, but we can actually give you that number a little more accurately as we pop this on the screen, and we'll give you the best number we can at this point. Watching this again, yeah, you'll be in that maybe the 1 to 3 inch range out there in Akron, depending upon how long this pivots through the city. It looks like it may take an angle just south of you along the thruway, but either way, not a huge hit there as well. They have gotten hit hard. There is a huge amount of snow. I believe the airport said they were 49 inches for this storm over that 3-day period. That is crazy. And there, hey, Michelin, thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words. If you could give us a share, the best thing you could do. People have often said, hey, what can we do? How can we keep this going? If you can share the stream, that's the only thing that we ask out of you guys. How much for Derby and Evans? Let's go ahead and hit this down here. Everybody pops into this stream at different times, so don't feel bad. You can ask a question, and we'll get right back to it. You can see you're in that 3 to 6 inch range down here in portions of southern Erie County, especially near the lakeshore. How much for Lockport? Let's go ahead. They've got family up in Lockport. You have snow showers there, but you're not getting a big hit. This is going to end up, as David just showed you, it ends up in the Southtowns by the morning hours there. What city town is going to get bore the brunt of this blizzard? It was the core, without a doubt. It was places like Buffalo, Kenmore, Cheektowaga, Amherst, Williamsville, Depew, Town Line, anywhere in here. Sloan was another one. All of these were just absolutely crushed by all of that. Why does the weather always come from the west to the east? Not always, but most of the time. That's the jet stream runs that way. It kind of brings everything across the country, and that's the order that it likes to go. So it's rare that we get weather from the east, but it can happen. Yes, we've got light snow falling on Grand Island currently, still snowing on Grand Island. Thank you much. Look at all the Grand Islanders in here. Wow, that I think 3 Grand Island comments back to back to back. And here's the number in case you wondered. We own the Golden Snowball. It's this trophy that gets passed around between the 5 upstate. New York City is not involved. Usually, It's Syracuse and Rochester. Buffalo gets out to an early start this time. I don't think it's going anywhere. We own this thing for the duration. And for the season, that 99 stacks up like this. It is a huge number for out of the gate. It's almost a season's worth. It's more than a season's worth of snowfall in a single 3-month period, and it is going to warm up. We've got 20s going to 30s, 40s, and 50s. Those are rain showers there. Giving a look at downtown Buffalo, you can see that things are right on the edge. It's not a heavy snow in the city at all. There are streets that are still being dealt with in the city, and actually communities all the way out to Cheektowaga. They're hoping to get a plow out there. Here's a little peek at what the streets look like. There's nobody on them tonight for good reason. They're passable in spots, but there are still a ton of these. The parked cars that haven't even been touched yet. They're covered all the way up to the windows and wheel wells in deep snow out there. So that's what we're dealing with across a lot of Western New York. Thank you very much for the Grand Island comments. We love that. And they live in Hamburg by the lake. Anything is too much. I've found our way through the last. Yeah, that's if you can make your way through that, you'll be able to get through this one. No doubt about it. Light snow and thank you very much, Barb.
Hey, I don't know if you wanted to do this, but I got a new picture in from Nigel, our friend up in Crystal Beach, and he took this picture of utility crews trying to put this pole back together. They've been without power for quite some time since the start of the storm because they were not only getting extremely powerful winds just like we were here, but they were getting that seiche off of Lake Erie. That's why you saw the iced out houses there, but this is what they're still trying to do, and they've been having some cell phone issues up there too, so it's not a pretty situation up there in Crystal Beach and for our friends in Fort Erie, Andy.
They got it bad on that side of the border too. Stan wants to know what's going on in Arcade. Arcade is kind of out of the picture. This stays in the immediate Southtowns. Not a big shot down there. The long-term outlook, Judy, looks like we are going to stay mild through the first week of January, and then the temperatures will take a tumble. The pattern flips and the cold comes back one more time. How much for West Seneca and Orchard Park? Let's go ahead and dive in here, and we'll bring in the Southtown view. This will give you a little better idea as we bring in those two communities, talk about the number. Again, this is not a huge hit. It's enough that it's going to bring one more round in, maybe that 3 to 6 inch mark for Hamburg, Orchard Park, and then also West Seneca. You're all kind of in the same boat there. Irving, we could slide to the south. Not a big deal down there in Irving. You can see the numbers go down dramatically once you go Silver Creek in here. Once you go away from the lakeshore, you'll find those numbers really drop off tremendously. 18 power crews, 3 hours out from Louisiana. That's they're pulling them in from all over. It says heavy lake effect coming again for West Seneca, Clinton. Not heavy. It's going to be a steady falling snow that's going to produce about 3 to 6 more inches. There's not a lot of blowing with it as well, so it should just stack up. Judy says it's snowing out in Lockport. Believe that. Is the thruway still closed? To the best of my knowledge, a good chunk of the thruway is closed, but you have to check with New York State on that one. He says his counterpart from Albany has 9 crews from Schenectady, and they are still out here doing their thing. What do we say here? It says, just got on. How much more for the Depew area tonight? Well, good that you asked, because this map is for you, Andrew. You can see it on the screen. You'll be in that 3 to 6 inch mark. No problems for you there. Long Point in Canada got it really bad as well. I haven't seen any video. Have you seen anything out of Long Point? I haven't seen any video.
I have not. No, I did see those ice pictures out from near London, Ontario. I don't remember what the name of the town is, but it's close.
Yep. Cheektowaga, there it is. You can see the numbers out in there. And what do we have here? Hey, Donna, thank you very much. Yeah, this is what station? You're watching the station right here, Donna. You can just grab it anytime. Make sure you like this page and subscribe to it, and you'll be able to catch it anytime. You can also text us as well. Super easy to do, especially as we go through winter. Maybe something that you might want to put in your phone as a contact. It's 503-ANDY, 503-2639. Put that in your phone as a contact. Just text the word weather, and you'll get an immediate response back about the forecast and a lot of the videos we do. We'll talk about the warm-up coming up, the snow that's been out there, and any of the weather that is coming our way. Do we have the ice castles back, those ice homes? Because I'm guessing, looking at the crew here that's in the room, we probably have a whole changeover, and the folks in here maybe haven't seen them yet. We Would you guys like to see the ice homes in Crystal Beach? If so, just go ahead and let us know on the comments on the side of the screen. We'll put those back on. Thank you very much. Dave and I, between the two of us, neither one of us get it right all the time, but between the two of us, we hit it pretty good. Look at these ice pictures. Now, where are these from, Dave? We lost your mic. I'm going to bring you got to unmute for a moment here, and then we'll be able to add these images. Here it is.
You got me?
Yeah, I got you back.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, this is from near London, Ontario. And I mean, along the shorelines of Lake Erie. And you can see, I mean, look how big those ice chunks are. Just absolutely insane. I mean, that's a gate, by the way. Absolutely insane pictures coming out of the London, Ontario area. And then you wanted to see the Crystal Beach photos as well. And here you go. This is just near our neck of the woods up towards Crystal Beach. And thanks to George for letting us share this with us. Just incredible imagery. As I can go a little bit closer here. You're not going out the back door anytime soon. I don't even know, Andy, how you remove this ice from a house unless you're using a flamethrower responsibly.
You let that thing melt. That's how you remove that one. So does anyone know if there's a gas station open in the Cheektowaga Cleve Hill area? Good question. I'm not sure. And Peggy says, could you repeat the info on how to get those reports? Well, Peggy, just for you, the number to call is 716-503-ANDY or 716-503-2639. Just text the word weather anytime to get a response. And if you have a question, you can go ahead and ask those there as well on text. Thank you very much, Peggy, for finding out about that. Appreciate it. Let's see. Looks like the Game of Thrones on those pictures. That is kind of an interesting take. It evokes a lot of different. It's definitely artistic. How much snow is coming his way? We've got everybody loves those. There it is. Yes. Put it on the screen, 503-2639. Just send the text there. It's great. Here's an answer. The Crosby's gas station at Union and Worley is open, but don't try to go to the Golf Dome. I think that is the Golf Dome is closed for a while. All right, we'll go back to the top here real quick and bring you back to Doppler, give you an idea of where this is. We said that there's some snow developing out there. The band is starting up again. We have one more night and day of this before it is done. And you can see that on Doppler, it's beginning to get going right now. There it is, the action beginning to move into the city a little bit. Very light stuff right now, but it's going to be, if you can see the cursor on there, it's going to be this area right there that's going to start to develop into a strengthening lake effect band. And you can see that there's more behind it. This is probably the push. Dave, would you say that this area behind it's probably going to be the thing that really lights the candle?
I wouldn't say, when you say
right
light
there.
the candle, I wouldn't say, hey, this is going to be what we've seen the past couple of days. I think this is going to be maybe, an inch an hour storm, and it's not going to produce a whole lot of inches. In fact, I mean, if you're looking for feet, thankfully, that's not going to be uttered for quite some time. This is going to be an inch snowband, not a feet snowband.
Yeah, I would say this does it for us for a while. When you look at the numbers, this would be the last of the snowflakes we see after Tuesday until the foreseeable future, the rest of this week, for the rest of the year. Let's say that we're done with snow for the rest of the year. Fair enough?
Yeah.
It sounds a lot better than it is. This is where that snow band is going to be as it develops as we go through the evening hours. Dave's got it on his screen. It's going to be in the city in the late evening here. Then it begins migrating south through Orchard Park and continues on about southern Erie counties where it sits there for a little while.
Yeah, extreme southern Erie counties. So Eden, we're talking about Gowanda, Springville, the Boston Hilltops, all the way to Dunkirk along the Thruway. Those are, or at least that's how far south this band is going to get. And then moving back up into the Southtowns during the morning and afternoon into the city of Buffalo. And then by the time dinner hour, I mean, this is well north of the city, and this is basically done. We're shutting off the lake snow machine for some time.
Yeah, in, out, gone. There's the action as it begins to develop this evening, tracking that literally minute by minute. You're going to see an increase in snow in Buffalo over the next hour. So as that piece near Long Point races in, it'll increase the snow showers that are currently falling in Grand Island, Lockport, portions of North Buffalo, and then we're going to start to see things begin to stack up. By the time you get up in the morning hours for Buffalo, that's when you're going to have that snow on the ground. So you'll already have the snow when you wake up in the city, but not a huge hit. Again, this is the number that we're looking at in the city, probably in that 3 to 5 inch range as this thing gets going, maybe favoring Sloan more than Kenmore, but either way, you're going to do another shovel out. And once you get into the Southtowns, that's where it's going to spend, as David just delineated, it's going to spend the morning and afternoon down here. Hamburg, Eden, you'll be in that 4 to 6 inch range, and then it starts coming back to the city. But as it does, it goes very quickly and moves to the north. It says, let this be the last of it. It is for a while, Debbie. We just said probably the last of it for this year. Will it cause flooding with the warm up? So this warm up is coming right there, and the combo of the rain and the warmth is generally something that we are concerned about. But this time right now, the amount of rain, if we were looking at an inch of rain, it takes about 6 hours for the water that hits a rainstorm to get into the creeks. And if you had a couple days of snow melt and then ripened it and got it all in there, but I think we're looking at less than an inch with this. Right now, it's still a number of days away, but that appears to be the number. The meteorologist out at the Weather Service, the hydrologists, that's the number they key on. And the last time we had a big meltdown, it took about that as much. We had a lot of rain, and then we had the snow melt, and it brought everything up to bank full. We had just minor flooding out there. Here's the silver lining. Buffalo will be owning the Golden Snowball Award, which is the snowfall competition held between the 5 upstate cities, Buffalo, Binghamton, Syracuse, Albany, and Rochester. And we are going to own that again this year. So that's what we've got tonight. So we've covered everything. If you folks don't have any other questions, it's a lot simpler than it was. No big wind, no huge snow, just enough to cover the ground once again, kind of add insult to injury and get you out of the house. Shoveling. Everybody's going to be very healthy from all the shoveling they've done, that or injured from it all. But either way, that's what we're looking at. These are the areas that are going to see the snow. You can see it covered in the dark blue or the light blue on the map, probably in that 3 to 6 inch range. It goes into Buffalo tonight, Southtowns tomorrow morning, and then it's back up into the city. And that's it. Well, thank you very much, Penny. We appreciate all the stuff. And you said I did fly into Buffalo. She flew into Niagara Falls today. So that's one way to get around the airport in Buffalo being closed. So, Dave, I'm going to bring us back up. I do look at this. I mean, that's some digging. Some folks got some work to do out there just to get to that car. And the plow did him a favor. It didn't really bury him too much. So on behalf of David, myself, and we'll put us both on camera here at the end. Thank you so much for stopping by. Is there anything else you want to add to this, David? I think we've covered everything. Some snow tonight and a big warm up, right?
Yeah, just sit back, relax, stay warm and safe out there.
One more night of Monopoly.
Yeah.
and then we'll be able to move about a little bit more. But all jesting aside, thank you everybody out for being so supportive, and do a like and a share on us. That's all we ask. We'll answer all the questions you want, and sign up for the text as well. That way we can kind of communicate with you pretty easy when we want to fire one of these up. Thanks so much for stopping by on this Monday. We'll see you again.